food bags, supplies, and really not just those essentials, but also the essential of a spirit. That we're here, we stand with you, we will not tolerate hate, we will not tolerate these attacks, and that this community is unified as one.
We're out here to try to make a difference.
I am so grateful that we live in a city who's very supportive of our community.
We are determined to make Los Angeles a sanctuary for all communities, and we are determined to heal our community one step at a time.
Violence against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community has seen a disturbing uptick in recent months, but city officials from the LAPD to the mayor are combating this problem head-on.
Hello everyone, and welcome to No Place for Hate, a live conversation on hate crimes, hate incidents, and how the city of Los Angeles is responding. We are seeing record violence and discrimination against Asian Pacific Islanders, primarily due to false narratives and bigoted lies surrounding COVID-19.
We know in the wake of the recent incidents that have been targeting members of the AAPI community that there are concerns about language barriers, about a cultural reluctance to come forward. And I want to underscore as strongly as I can that in our office, we're going to embrace you, we're going to listen to you, we're going to believe you, we're going to stand up for you, and do everything we can to protect you.
We have the authority now to investigate, to level penalties in discrimination in private commerce, in education, in employment, and in housing. So when we say hate has no place in Los Angeles, we mean that in two ways. Literally, there is no place for hate in Los Angeles, but there is no part of Los Angeles, whether it's our professional, our personal, our recreational, or our residential spheres, that we will accept hate and there will be punishment for those who bring it.
Report, report, report. Even if a non-criminal act occurs, this may be words, it may be epithets, it may be the posting in a public place of something that is discriminatory. Those hate incidents must be reported to prevent those incidents from escalating into crimes of violence.
We must all rise to support our fellow Angelenos from discrimination, bigotry, and hate.
And while the mayor and others take a firm stand against overt acts of hate, LAPD Chief Michael Moore took time to promote a program that emphasizes the other side of that coin. Here's the Just Say Hello campaign.
Why do you hate us? Why do you hate us? Men hate each other because they fear each other. And they fear each other because they don't know each other. And they don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other. The Just Say Hello campaign is reminding all of us that the value of this community is knowing and welcoming the diversity. And you can't welcome it and embrace it unless you're willing to step forward and break the ice between people who look different than you or who may dress differently, and you have like this barrier of like, well, how do I talk with that individual? Well, just say hello. And a simple gesture of making eye contact and expressing good morning, good afternoon, wish you well today, as an opportunity to humanize yourself. Here this last year, we've seen just an explosion, if you will, of hate, of instances of verbal abuse, intimidation, and actual attacks on the Asian Pacific Islander community as an example. The Just Say Hello is yet another effort by the department to join in with other community organizations and entities in a campaign of reaching across those barriers, of breaking those barriers down, and establishing the humanity behind this badge and the person that is willing and able to help and serve and support every community here throughout Los Angeles.
Ahora que se están ya relajando un poco las reglas, esta es una oportunidad para recordar a las personas que todos somos humanos, no importa su color de piel, de dónde son, qué idioma habla, pero un simple saludo puede ayudarnos a recordarlos que todos somos miembros de la comunidad.
And we can welcome a smile once we get rid of these face coverings here and at some point, but at least what we can do is express verbally how you doing and wish you well and just say hello.
Councilmember Joe Buscaino continues to battle the humanitarian crisis of homelessness in Los Angeles. One initiative to help the problem is taking shape, literally. Council District 15 now has a tiny home village.
It pains me to know in my district that nearly 2,000 individuals are unsheltered. We have to lead with urgency and help solve this humanitarian crisis in our city.
Wow, this makes my heart happy to see the progress here.
The tiny home village is yet one more effort to quickly house folks from the encampments and sidewalks and into our tiny home village, which we are so proud to launch. And it's going to be able to provide 75 units. These are individual units that, get this, take 4 hours to assemble. These are 75 units directly across from Harbor College. Really proud of this particular project because we are going to house homeless students that attend Harbor College. There's a lot of students in our region that's couch surfing, and we're going to dedicate 25 of these units for students at Harbor College. We celebrate the life and legacy of Saint Joseph, who is the patron saint of the Catholic Church. In fact, I was named after Saint Joseph, and Saint Joseph teaches us to help the most vulnerable among us, to help those in need. And this is why, this is my why. If you know of someone who needs help and needs shelter, we have the countywide 211 system that you can call and notify to get their lives back in order and move towards self-sufficiency.
Only 3 short months ago, we reported that Skateland in Northridge would be shutting its doors to skaters, but repurposed for the homeless with help from the nonprofit Hope of the Valley. Well, that collaboration has come to fruition, and Councilmember John Lee was there to help cut the ribbon.
3, 2, 1, let it drop. Yeah, there it is.
My husband Alex and I were noticing the increase in homelessness, and we wanted to be part of the solution.
I was sitting in my office and my phone rang, and I answered it, and on the other line somebody said, "Ken?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "This is Alex Trebek." In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, is this like the Alex Trebek, or is this Alex Trebek from Wichita, Kansas?
Alex went out of his way to find out what was going on in the community, and he found that Hope of the Valley was very proactive in helping to reduce homelessness. So we jumped on board.
This building behind me has incredible memories. First time I skated here at Skateland was in 1978.
I loved this place. I was a regular skater here every Sunday, every Thursday, and every Tuesday morning.
First of all, thank the Fleming family for their dedication, not only to the center, but for everything that you've done for our community over those years.
Skateland was started by my mom and dad, and from that point on, the rink just grew. My brother had been doing a lot of volunteer work with Hope of the Valley and found out that they really were looking for a facility to grow the organization. This is probably the biggest, I think, legacy that could be left for our family.
I'm sad to see that this is the end of an era, but I am embracing the 107 people that will be able to call this their home.
Un mensaje para todas las personas que no tienen hogar. Estamos aquí para servirles y la organización existe por ustedes. Nosotros somos la esperanza del Valle.
We can do this together, so I thank you all. Take care, and if you can, take care of another. Thank you.
The Autry Museum reopens April 6th. Councilmember Cedillo encourages seniors to get vaccinated, and the controller has a new report on illegal dumping. These stories up next on City Beat.
After closing their doors for over a year, the Autry Museum in Los Feliz will reopen to the public Tuesday, April 6th. The reopening will feature brand new on-site exhibits, including Masters of the American West, What's Her Story, Women in the Archives, and more. Admission to the museum is free through April 18th with advance reservations. For more information, visit theautry.org/visit. Councilmember Gil Cedillo launches a new Spanish and English video public service campaign to encourage Latino seniors to get a COVID-19 vaccine shot. The Get Vaccinated campaign hopes to reach communities of color where vaccination rates are low. Vaccination sites in District 1 can be found in Pico Union, Chinatown, Westlake, Glassell Park, and Lincoln Park. Find out more at gilcedillo.com. LA City Controller Ron Galperin shared a report this week that calculates an overall 450% increase in illegal dumping between 2016 and 2020. The Controller's report is accompanied by an interactive dashboard that maps and tracks the locations of cleanup requests over the past 4 years. The report celebrated LA Sanitation for its increased efforts. However, it does note that citizen deterrents to illegal dumping are lacking. Residents can view the report as well as the illegal dumping dashboard at lacontroller.com/illegal dumping.
We know about the Boys and Girls Club. We are familiar with the YMCA. Well, here's another not-for-profit organization you may not know about. An organization that was deemed essential to its community during COVID-19, Brotherhood Crusade.
The Los Angeles Brotherhood Crusade is a nonprofit based in South Los Angeles that was founded in 1968 by my late father, Walter Vermont, out of a social justice movement. Our institutional leader, Danny Baker Sr., led the organization for 35 years, focusing on health, education, economic development, institutional building, youth development to ensure that young people are able to thrive, learn, and grow. During this time, we provided 2,500 students with Chrome tablets and hotspots in South Los Angeles. But more importantly, as I mentioned, through this pandemic, we were also able to weekly support our families, 25 families a week, with monetary support ranging from $300 to $1,000 per family. It is clear that we made a conscious decision for 53 years to be in a community where folks who have been disconnected have the ability to be connected with partners who care about them. Love your community. When you love the young people that you serve, it is like you know that you would fight for them in every step of the way. For me, I look at how do we advocate, how do we support families who have the least in our communities, but also understanding it is no fault of their own. Children want to thrive, and so we all have a responsibility to say, how do we invest in communities to even the playing field?
It's widely known as the birthplace of Los Angeles. Olvera Street at El Pueblo is composed of dozens of unique and cultural gems, and they want you to know they are open for business.
In the shadow of the City Hall is Olvera Street, birthplace of Los Angeles. Folks come here and unknowingly walk over the early settlement's first water ditch.
El Pueblo is the birthplace of the city of Los Angeles. This is where the whole city began. Olvera Street is open for visitors to take food. There's outdoor dining and of course some of our other wonderful puestos that sell all kinds of artisan crafts.
Este negocio se abrió aquí en la Placita Olvera en el año de 1970. So tenemos ya, bueno, la familia de mi esposo por 51 años.
Whether you're a tourist or a local, you can walk in here on any given day
and we will manufacture something right in front of you. We'll stamp your name on it, make it customized and kind of personal. Hippie-style bags, bracelets, belts with names on them. And we do it in front of the customer.
It's really important that we keep interacting with our guests. So we offer free online digital tours, some on the founding of early Los Angeles, some on the America Tropical Interpreter Center, and a brand new tour debuting this month on historic women of El Pueblo. Please visit our website, elpueblo.lacity.org, or call us at 213-628-1274.
Take art classes with Canoga Park Youth Arts Center. Explore strange cooking methods with Richard Foss, or check out a virtual demonstration of roller dance skating. All this up next on Virtual Things to Do.
Spring is in the air. The Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs and the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center are teaming up to bring you on-demand art lessons from the comfort of your own home. Starting April 5th and running through May 28th, kids can explore the spring session of free and weekly art lessons, including step-by-step guides on drawing, architecture, and art appreciation, highlighting many celebrated artists from around the globe. Lessons will be featured on the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center Facebook and YouTube channels. Do you love to cook? Culinary historian and author Richard Foss at the LA Public Library are offering a free lecture on the origins and developments of cooking equipment and culinary techniques in unusual circumstances and hostile environments. On Saturday, April 10th at 10:30 a.m., you are invited to The Strangest Cooking Methods in the World with Richard Foss, a lighthearted and virtual history lesson that will take you on a savory journey and answer the intriguing question, what do people cook when fuel is not available? From using the heat from volcanoes to hot springs and car engines, this event is sizzling with some fun facts about cooking methods dating back from prehistory to present day. So if you have a passion for food that goes beyond a knife and fork, register for this event by visiting the link at lapl.org/events. Lace up those roller skates and get ready for a fun workout and virtual demonstration. The LA Public Library and their cultural series, LA Made, bring you LA Roller Girls. On Thursday, April 8th at 4 p.m., these top-ranked LA champion skaters are roller dance skating their way to bring awareness to all the health and mental benefits of skating. This 1-hour free skate lesson will stream live on YouTube and Facebook and feature the nationally recognized and certified roller skate instructors, LA Roller Girls, as they offer valuable tips on balance, safety, and equipment, all from a controlled environment. If roller skating is your way to get in shape and stay healthy, check out the LA Roller Girls. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
In our feature this week, we talk with Brenda Barnett of LA Animal Services, who says that LA is not completely there yet, but we are getting close to becoming a no-kill shelter. Maria Hall-Brown has the story.
Despite the struggles of the pandemic, the City of Los Angeles shelters reached a milestone this year by achieving a no-kill status in 2020. How did that happen?
Well, it was sort of magical, actually, and the city's not really going to call ourselves a no-kill city yet, because it was a different year, but we did achieve the 90.49 life save rate, which under normal circumstances would be considered no-kill. So we wanted to celebrate anyway all of the people who made that possible. I mean, everything from our national friends like Best Friends has been quite a champion, ASPCA has been wonderful, and then we've got New Hope Partners, rescues who pull animals, adopters, foster volunteers, nearly 3,000 volunteers that just help us. Sure. And then there are people in the streets who do things to help animals that never even meet our radar because they're just out there doing their thing and they're not part of the system. So it really has been a whole village effort, and there have been people here much longer than me who have been working on trying to achieve this, and we wanted to celebrate them this year.
All right, as strange as this question is, did the pandemic help? Because it seemed like absolutely everybody adopted a dog or a pet for comfort, company, and exercise, and our whole safer at home, and then can't do anything except maybe go hiking and walking around the neighborhood. Was there a huge influx of adoptions?
Well, there was a big influx of adoptions and people who wanted to foster pets.
Oh.
At one point, we actually ran out of foster pets, and we had to wait until some more came in before we could give them foster pets to take care of. So I think, but what I think is the most remarkable about it is the return rates. Our return rates for dogs who were adopted or cats who were adopted during that time is lower than it's been in the past. So not only did they adopt them, they kept them. They fell in love with them, and probably, if I were to guess, I would say, okay, you're at home with them all day. I know where my dogs were all day. They were circled. I was, working mostly from Zoom and on the computer, and my dogs were always in the room with me, occasionally making a little appearance in a Zoom meeting, invited or not. But they were there with us. And so, it gave people time to let them adjust to their new surroundings and their new lifestyle, and they didn't bring them back. So it was a win-win for the animals, for sure.
All right, thanks so much. Great to talk to you, Brenda.
Thanks, nice to see you again.
That's it for this edition. I am Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Wednesday, April 7th. I'm Mary Martinez, the President of the City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield present.
Bonin.
Bonin present.
Buscaino.
Here.
Cedillo.
Cedillo here.
De Leon.
Here.
Harris Dawson.
Present.
Kuretz.
Present.
Krikorian.
Here.
Lee. Martinez.
Here.
O'Farrell.
Present.
Price.
Present.
Rahman.
Here.
Ridley Thomas. Rodriguez. "12 members present and a quorum, Madam President.
Okay, for first order of business,
Approval of the April 6, 2021 minutes.
Mr. Buscaino moves and Mr. Bonin seconds. Next,
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. O'Farrell moves and Mr. Corrett seconds. Next,
Madam President, there are several requests. There is a request for items 35 and 40 to be continued to April 14, 2021. To continue item 40 to April 21st, 2021. And there is also a request to hold item 7 on the desk.
okay, without objection, that will be the order. But before we do that, all items on today's agenda need to go forthwith, without objection.
Correct.
Okay, next.
Items 1 is an item notice for public hearing. Items 2 through 36 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 37 through 41 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Items 42 through 51 are closed session items considered by the Budget and Finance Committee. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, without objections, those items are now before us. Members, you wish to call any of these items special? Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to call item 39 special, please. for comments.
Item 39 for comments, very well. Mr. Buscaino?
10 for an amending motion, Madam President.
Repeat that again?
Item 10 for an amending motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I move that the report from the Rules, Elections, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee, item number 10 on today's agenda, CF 21-0002-S49, relative to support for state legislation or administrative action that would allow enhanced infrastructure finance districts and community revitalization and investment authority board members to designate alternates, be amended to include support for Senate Bill 780.
Okay, that's been seconded by Mr. O'Farrell. Is that correct, Mr. O'Farrell?
Yes.
Thank you. That's
confirmed.
currently being circulated. Any other items, Mr. Buscaino?
That is it. Thank you.
Mr. Cedillo? Mr. Cedillo?
Yes, we are calling item 41 special, please, and I will be joined by Mr. Marquise Harris Dawson and by my colleague, MRT.
Is this an amended motion?
This is for comment.
For comments, okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Krikorian?
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'd like to call item 17 special for purposes of an amendment, please.
Go ahead.
I move to amend the Budget and Finance Committee report relative to the third financial status report to add the following instructions to close additional departmental shortfalls that were not included. Request the controller to transfer $700,000 from the unappropriated balance reserved for mid-year adjustments account to the controller's salaries general account. Request the controller to transfer $1.66 million from the unappropriated balance reserved for mid-year adjustments account to the Bureau of Contract Administration's accounts as follows. Salaries general, $1.3 million. Hiring hall salaries, $135,000. Hiring hall salaries, $135,000. Benefits hiring hall, $65,000. Transportation, $141,000. And operating supplies, $19,000. Request the controller to transfer $4,399,236 from the unappropriated balance reserved for mid-year adjustments account to the fire department operating supplies account to cover unbudgeted costs associated with the department's ongoing COVID response activities.
I will second that for you. Any others?
Thank you. No, that will do it.
Mr. Koretz?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to ask that item 40 be continued for 2 weeks.
Okay, it was mentioned earlier. It's going to be
Oh, great.
continued to
Thank you.
April 21st.
Perfect, thank you.
Members, any other specials? Okay, seeing none, what available items are there for us to vote, Madam Clerk?
Those would be 2 through 6, 8, 9, 11 through 16, 18 through 34, and item 36.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote on those items, Madam Clerk. Go ahead and call the roll.
Blumenfield,
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin,
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino,
Aye.
Cedillo,
Aye.
De Leon,
Aye.
Harris Dawson,
Yes.
Koretz,
Aye.
Krikorian,
Aye.
Lee, Martinez,
Aye.
O'Farrell,
Aye.
Price,
Aye.
Rahman,
Yes.
Ridley Thomas, Rodriguez.
Aye.
13 ayes. These items are adopted forthwith.
Okay, Mr. Krikorian, I want to defer to you for the closed session items.
Thank you very much, Madam President. One moment, please. So items 42 through 51 are all settlements that have been considered by Budget and Finance. The committee recommends approval of the city attorney's recommendations as to all matters, and all of those can be considered in open session unless members have questions or concerns.
Thank you. Members, are there any questions on any of the closed session items? Mr. Buscaino?
Just like to register a no vote on 45, 46, and 47, Madam President.
Okay, repeat those items again.
45, 46, and 47.
Okay, we'll vote on those separately. Madam Clerk, go ahead and make the announcement before we take up the vote.
Yes, Madam President. Item 42, in the case entitled Loretta Ball versus City of Los Angeles, there is a recommendation to expend up to $140,000 in settlement. Item 43, in the case entitled Barbara Schifrin versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $350,000 in settlement. Item 44, in the case entitled Mary Jean Shearer et al. Versus City of Los Angeles, there is a recommendation to expend up to $475,000 in settlement. Item 45, in the case entitled I.R. a minor et al. Versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $145,000 in settlement. Item 46, in the case entitled Monique Morgan versus City of Los Angeles, there is a recommendation to expend up to $295,000 in settlement. Item 47, in the case entitled Estate of Anthony Soderberg et al. Versus City of Los Angeles, there is a recommendation to expend up to $1,150,000 in settlement. Item 49, in the case entitled City of Los Angeles ex rel. Richard Knutson versus New Singular Wireless National Accounts LLC, there is a recommendation for the city to receive $2,750,000 in settlement.
And I'll take the last two, Madam President. So for item 50, which is Track Phone v. City, the recommendation is for the city to expend $1.65 million over 3 years, which will be partially paid against Track Phone's future communications user tax remissions. And for item 51, Richard Paul Rutgerd v. City, it's to simply at this point we're only announcing is to accept the city attorney's recommendations.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote on items 42 through 44 and items 49 through 51. Let's take up those votes first. Go ahead and call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas. Rodriguez.
Aye.
13 ayes. These items are adopted forthwith.
Okay, let's vote on items 45 through 47. Go ahead and call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
No?
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee. Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas. Rodriguez.
Aye.
Twelve ayes, 1 no. These items are adopted forthwith.
Okay, let's move on to public comment. Go ahead and read out the information, followed by the city attorney.
Yes, Madam President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press the pound key. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. Finally, when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number being called out, press star 6. Let me repeat, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. And finally, when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number being called out, press star 6.
To members of the public calling in, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak on. You have 1 minute per item to speak, up to 3 minutes total, and 1 minute for general public comment if you wish. We'll tell you when your time's up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you're not on topic, or if we can't tell whether you're on topic, you'll get one brief warning from me or the president. If you don't immediately get clearly on topic or again stray off topic, you'll forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we'll move on to the next speaker. We're going to take 30 minutes total of public comment. The only items that are open for public comment are items 1, 10, 17, and 37 through 41. That's items 1, 10, 17, and 37 through 41. Finally, for members of the public calling in to speak, as soon as you hear someone address you by reading off the last 4 digits of your phone number or other identifying information if you're calling in on a block number, it's your turn to speak. Please press star 6 right away and tell us which. Please, I've lost Mike. Please press star 6 right away and let us know which items you'd like to speak on. We understand you may be listening on a computer, channel 35 or other device, but please keep one ear to the phone because there's a brief time delay between the meeting and the broadcast. And if you're only listening to the broadcast, when it's your turn to speak, you may not hear us right away and press star 6, and we may think you're no longer on the phone and move on to the next speaker. Finally, if you are listening to on another device as well, please turn down the volume on those devices right away. Because of the time delay and also feedback, it's going to cause a lot of confusion if you're listening on another device and not just the phone. Thank you very much, Madam President. We are ready to take public comment.
Okay, let's take the first speaker.
Caller ending in 8841, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 8841, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 3843, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Andrea Jimenez, public general comment.
You have 1 minute. Please begin.
Thank you. City Council members, I know you're not addressing the eviction moratorium, no-fault evictions, although you should. Banning no-fault evictions for over a year is an abuse of power, an abuse on the property and the owners. It is taking our right to live in our own home. There is money coming in from the federal government to the city for rental assistance. The no-fault evictions should be allowed. Now, Government News stated the state will open July 15. That is 2 months, which is the 60-day notice I have to give tenants to relocate. We should at least be allowed to start the relocation process for no-fault evictions. So by June 15, I am closer to having my home and the tenants are relocated to their permanent residence with money. Now, I ask for you to put yourself in my shoes, and like me, many others, because I am not the only one. What would you do if you had a home but could not provide a roof for your family, when the power and the right to do so has been taken away from you by people who do not care? At this point, I am angry. I am so angry that my toddler is still homeless. That my veteran husband who suffers from PTSD is a complete mess, and I cannot do anything about it.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 1556, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 1556, please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Kayla, and I'd like to speak on general public comment since item 24 is not available for speaking on.
You have a minute. Please begin.
Perfect. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kayla, and I'm calling with the Valley Industry and Commerce Association, VICA. All energy sources, including the natural gas supplied by the Playa del Rey natural gas facility, are needed to meet the energy demands of households and businesses across the city. Access to consistent, affordable, and reliable energy sources are essential, particularly during this pandemic. Any power outages, increased costs, or curtailments of service could put the safety and well-being of our residents at a greater risk as we continue to battle COVID-19. In the San Fernando Valley and throughout the city, we have seen blackouts this past year that have had devastating impacts on Angelenos. At a time when many are working and taking classes from home to fight the spread of COVID, closing any of the city's natural gas facilities could destroy the livelihood of our residents and businesses. Our economy is very fragile as we begin to reopen and rebuild, and we need to plan ahead for skyrocketing energy demands in the summer months. Keeping the Playa del Rey storage facility open would ensure the region maintains access to reliable and affordable energy. For these reasons, VICA asks.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 7719, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn calling from Studio City, and I'll comply and speak on 1, 10, 17, 37 through 41, and the general public comment.
Please go ahead. You have 3 minutes, followed by 1 minute for general.
Thank you, and thank you to Paul Koretz for recognizing the urgency to illuminate City Hall coming up for the 200th anniversary of Greek Independence Day. This is a great victory for democracy. The temple of democracy,
sorry, Mr. Previn,
that Mr. Garcetti
I'm
refers
pretty
to
sure
City Hall
that
is-
was on
is
yesterday's
being
agenda.
Illuminated,
So, Mr.
appropriately
Previn,
illuminated.
Mr.
What's that?
Previn, that was on yesterday's agenda. You're free to talk about it in general public comment, but not now. Please stick to the items which you announced you would speak on.
Okay, you've thrown me there, but fair enough. How about the Best Best and Krieger conflict of interest item? Is that available today?
I'm pretty
or
sure
should I
that
just go to the settlements?
No, it's not. You can talk about it in general public comment. So let's stick with the items which you listed.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for helping to clean up Exide, Mr. De Leon. This is a great issue that has languished for years as one of the most
Mr.
embarrassing,
Previn, I think we should send you to general public
humiliating-
comment because, again,
What's that?
that was yesterday. So, again, it's not open
Oh,
for
so I
public
see
comment.
what's
So why
happened.
don't we
I
just
see
send
what's
Mr.
happened.
Previn to general
I was
public
directed
comment
to
and
the
give him his
wrong.
minute?
I'm very sorry. Let me go to the
Give
settlements
Mr.
that you
Previn
talked
his
about
1 minute of
orally,
general
so I
public
can
comment.
quickly, comment on those, and I apologize.
You're
for
now
the
speaking in
confusion.
general
It's a lot
public
of
comment,
items.
Mr. Previn.
What's that?
You're speaking in general public comment now. Go ahead.
No, I'd like to speak on the agenda items if I could, but I'll
You
just
were
make a
not
general
sticking to
public
the
comment
items,
because
so
I've
go
already
ahead.
taken
General
15
public
seconds.
comment, you
I'm
got a
sorry.
minute.
This is a very confusing process for us, and I'm trying. I really tried diligently, and I'm a little confused as to why that happened But look, the settlement where we're getting to $2.7 million needs to be measured against how much they actually owed us. Because what would they love to do at City Hall is give a discount, like to the folks at Sportsman's Lodge, who in repeated fashion kept getting cut deals by Krikorian and the mayor. And now we're facing an interesting strategy where the whole Ventura Boulevard, which was supposed to be widened to accommodate all the traffic at that development, no longer needs to be widened. So great news, they're gonna save $1 million, not have to widen the thing, the developer's gonna save. And I'm just curious how that happened and why Tina Choi of the lobbyist firm started stuffing $20,000 bills in her
Thank you.
pocketbook.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 4596, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Dr. Shannon Kozlovich, she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm here for general public comment.
You have a minute. Please go ahead.
Distinguished council members, I am a program manager at Equality California and a tobacco research scientist. When Congress passed the 2009 Tobacco Control Act, they restricted the sale of all flavored cigarettes except for menthol. Menthol being the flavor that's most heavily used within communities of color and by 70% of LGBTQ plus young people. This flavor is known to increase addiction to tobacco and increase the harms from the use of tobacco products. Yet the federal government didn't think our communities deserved equal protection from the tobacco industry. California attempted to correct this federal oversight and passed a bill to restrict the sale of flavored tobacco products, but Big Tobacco stepped in to protect their profits over the health of people. This 2-year delay will make them $1 billion in menthol cigarette sales alone. We deserve better. Our lives should not be traded for a profit margin. It's time for the city of Los Angeles to address the tobacco epidemic with evidence-based policies known to decrease new tobacco users and increase quit rates among flavored tobacco users. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 4882, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending, please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
My name is Michelle Cooley Strickland, and I'm speaking to item 24 as a general public comment.
Please go ahead. You have a minute.
Thank you. I am the Vice President of the Neighborhood Council of Westchester Playa and also a 16-year resident of Playa del Rey, and I look outside on the storage facility. I am in strong opposition to the resolution to close SoCalGas Playa del Rey storage facility. Mike has been a huge champion of our community of Playa del Rey and a strong advocate for us, but on this issue, it is inadvised. I serve on the Community Advisory Committee for the storage facility and have had the opportunity to learn directly from scientists, engineers, and plant facility workers about the storage facility operations. And of course, having moved here and being a stone's throw from the facility, I had concerns, but once educated, learned about how efficiently and excellently they operate this facility, which a former...
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 5602, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Thank you. My name is Paul Sale. I'd like to speak on item number 7.
So
resolution.
We've already voted on 7, but you're free to talk about it actually, we haven't voted on it, but it's not open for public comment. But you can talk about it during general public comment. So you have a minute. Please go ahead.
Please. Thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to Councilman Mitchell Farrell and the staff for continuing to advocate on behalf of the AAPI community. And for that, I'm very grateful. At this moment in time, we're at a crucial, transformative, and transcendent point in history for the AAPI community and people of color. Bottom line is that we're hurting. I believe it's absolutely important that this council make hate crimes a priority for all, not just the AAPI community. The communities will remember where everyone stands at this precipice of change, and for too long, the AAPI community has been neglected and overlooked by many, and this is your chance as LA City Council to move together collectively to engage in the AAPI community, show that you care, that you're listening, to actually taking real steps to address the problems that we're facing. You have the momentum to actually make change, make positive steps to solve this problem, so in light of the resolution, I ask you guys to approve it first and foremost, but also to wholeheartedly support all the legislation that's coming down from the state and federal levels. And finally, I ask that resources be provided immediately to the community so reports can be made easily, quickly, efficiently, and without any fear. And our communities of color only trust the City Council and its actions only if they see results, and the City Council meets everyone at this moment.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 6260, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, I'm Marissa London. I use she, her pronouns, and I'd like to give general public comment.
You have a minute. Please begin.
Good morning, council members. I'm a senior program associate on Equality California's Out Against Big Tobacco program. I'm here to talk about the importance of comprehensive flavored tobacco restrictions for health equity. Lesbian, gay, and bisexual adults use tobacco at significantly higher rates than straight adults. With 1 in 3 transgender adults using tobacco, trans adults are more than twice as likely to use tobacco products than cisgender adults. LGBTQ plus folks use flavored tobacco products, including menthol and hookah, at significantly higher rates than straight tobacco users. Flavors including menthol and sweet or fruity flavors are used to hide the taste of tobacco, which makes it easier to start using, hooking members of our community. Studies show that flavored tobacco restrictions both decrease the number of new tobacco users and increase the number of people who quit using smoking. A comprehensive flavored tobacco restriction will help make sure fewer new tobacco users get hooked on these products, especially members of the LGBTQ plus community and communities of color. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 9632, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Just like to give a general public comment, please.
You have a minute. Please begin, sir.
Yes, council members, it is very disappointing that none of you have urged your council president, Nuri Martinez, to comment more forcefully on what's happened at Echo Park Lake in the last few weeks and the planning around it. It's very troubling that the council offices have collaborated with the mayor in violation of the Brown Act to come up with a position on homelessness that has been the goal of this council for years. This council has watched homelessness deaths double or even triple and cheered it on while it's happened, and now they've decided to criminalize all park dwellers in this city instead of offering real services. They're lying through their teeth, and we have no leadership from this city that sets an example of integrity and leadership, and that starts with Nuri Martinez. It's beyond disappointing that we have someone who will allow such violence, death, and devastation in the city without even a comment. And I would also extend that to Kevin De Leon, whose district is in Skid Row, yet all he can do is be a pretentious piece of shit in these meetings instead of being a real leader.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 4208, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, Rob Kwan. I'd like to speak on items 1737 and general public comment.
So, I believe with item 17, we have an amendment. Yes, please go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Frobel. You don't trust me, man. It's all good. I wanted to note on the FSR that, LAPD is 20 million over budget, mostly driven by overtime. And I also think it's really interesting that when you voted on reallocating LAPD funds, there was an explicit deadline of March 5th for council offices to help provide a report on spending that remaining $50 million. And we are a month past that date. So show us the money, Nuri, please. For item 37, we have a contract extension for Cornerstone On Demand. And I just think it's really fascinating that this company has apparently circumvented our ban on contributions from contractors on multiple occasions. And this contract definitely applies. It's worth millions of dollars. This contract amendment was first discussed on June 11th, 2019. That triggers the ban again. They've made 3 contributions to council candidates since then. And previously, when the contract was originally in its incarnation, they made 3 contributions to Garcetti, 2 happening after the bid was submitted on February 19th, 2015. And that ban extended until 2/11/2017. There were 2 contributions to Garcetti, specifically from match contributions from the CAO and the CEO. It's also worth noting that they have 2 behested payments from Cornerstone On Demand that were made to the mayor's fund in the years before the contract was set to expire. So in total, behested payments are their own thing, but we have 5 instances of this company violating the contribution ban for contractors. Absolutely fascinating. For my general public comment, maybe our council president isn't going to do anything about the stink of Jose Huizar and corruption, but I hope everybody on this council turns to the council president and says, hey, look, there's 2/3 of us that are going to be on the ballot in 2022, and we can't really campaign as an absentee council who's been collecting $200,000 a year while violating this charter by canceling 1/3 of your meetings. So please resume your normal work schedule. And I do want to make an offer to Council President Martinez. I don't know what we need to do to get your eyes off of this council. You don't seem interested in this job. Maybe something where you can shine a little bit more, like Board of Supervisors or Congress is in your favor. Which district do we need to get gerrymandered to get you to go hop off somewhere else, Council President Martinez? Please relay that information. It seems like a good effort. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Kwan.
Thank you, Mr. Kwam. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 3318, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, this is Richie Sudanko from People's City Council. I just want to say it's an honor to follow up the legend Rob Kwan like that. I'll just give general public comment, please.
Sure, you have a minute. Please go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is, I don't know what's really going on at council right now. Everyone is entertaining Mitch O'Farrell's concerns that there were credible threats. There were no credible threats, and now he's asking LAPD to dig up evidence. He's also asking for a report on what the cost of the repairs of Echo Park Lake are. Why didn't Mitch O'Farrell have an itemized list of the repairs before calling for the sweep and displacement of the Echo Park residents? How much money was spent and wasted in raiding the park in the middle of the night and attacking constituents on back-to-back nights? How much of that money could have been used to put people in housing? And why do council members believe that criminalization is the answer? We want to move towards a police-free future, and operating this manner is not a just. We do not live in a just and humane society. When Mitchell.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 0492, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Ethan Spencer from Food and Water Watch, and I'd like to speak on general public comment, please.
You have a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. I want to thank the City Council for voting in support of closing the Playa del Rey gas facility. I'm especially thanking Councilmember Bonin, Council President Martinez for their leadership on this. I'd also urge Councilmember Lee to follow their lead and move forward his own resolution on Aliso Canyon. We can't solve problems at Aliso, Sun Valley, or Playa separately. Achieving justice for any of our communities depends on achieving climate justice for our city as a whole. On that note, the LA 100 study has proven we can get to 100% clean energy. Doing that equitably requires we stop directing our city's resources towards propping up SoCal gas and direct it towards investing deeply in our people, our communities, our workers, and in achieving that transition. So appreciate this vote, and thank you so much.
Caller ending in 8742, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
This is Sarah Wiltfong, and I'd like to speak to general public comment.
Sure, you have a minute. Please go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Wiltfong, and I'm calling on behalf of BizFed, the Los Angeles County Business Federation. We're an alliance of over 200 business organizations who represent over 450,000 employers in Los Angeles County. We're here to express our strong opposition to the resolution supporting any state policy that would close the Playa del Rey natural gas power plant. We find it highly concerning that the City Council considered this resolution, given that last year, millions of California residents experienced rolling blackouts. We need clean natural gas to help power our grid, provide affordable energy, and a backstop when grid capacity is at its peak, which the Playa del Rey natural gas power plant does. We believe, given what happened last year, it was irresponsible to consider the closure of the Playa del Rey natural gas power plant, and we strongly oppose this resolution. Thank you very much.
Caller ending in 1741, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Janet Rodriguez, and I would like to make a general public comment.
Please begin.
Good morning, members of the Los Angeles City Council. My name is Janet Rodriguez, and I'm a constituent of District 9. And I'm also a public health advocate, and I'm also a member of the LA Families Fighting Flavored Tobacco Coalition. I'm here today to encourage you to move decisively to pass a comprehensive ordinance that ends the sale of flavored tobacco, including menthol flavored tobacco products, and without exemptions for hookah or adult-only tobacco shops. Just like Los Angeles County, we want a strong law ending the sale of flavored tobacco products. I know from research conducted at USC that a strong, comprehensive ordinance preventing sales to minors was actually associated with lower rates of use and adult initiation of combustible tobacco and e-cigarettes. Please join us and a growing number of Angelinos who are standing up against big tobacco. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 1506, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning, Council President and Council members. My name is Diana Coronado, representing the Building Industry Association. We would like to make general public comment.
Please go ahead.
On item number 24. BIA is a nonprofit representing home builders and all those affiliated with building housing for all. On behalf of our members, we are opposed to the actions in this resolution. We are concerned that by shutting down the Playa del Rey facility, it will significantly hamper the energy needs of our residents. Builders need reliable and diverse energy options when planning for and producing housing, requiring all types of different energy, including natural gas. Currently, some homes are built with cooling and heating systems and kitchen appliances that rely on natural gas from local facilities. Similarly, schools, hospitals, and businesses also rely heavily on natural gas. With these comments in mind, we hope that you consider the potential negative impact that this resolution could have on home building and businesses. I would also like to add the opposition of the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce, who could not testify today, but are also opposed to this resolution. Thank you. We urge you not to support this resolution.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 1148, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 1148, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
I'd like to speak on all available items and general public comment, please.
Sure. So you have 3 minutes for items 1, 10, 17, and 37 through 41, and then 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Thank you, sir. Apologize to Ms. Autry for extreme disrespect and degradation. Martinez, all votes today, except for, of course, LAPD Buscaino, 3 no votes for LAPD settlements, will be yes votes. City Attorney, please wear a mask, obey the law at all times. Thank you. You talk without your mask on sometimes, sir.
So
please obey.
You're free to give me a hard time in general public comment, but let's stick to the items now, please.
Okay, that's fair enough. Item number 1 is a Port of LA incentive program to decrease truck times at the terminal. $7.5 million from the general fund. You could have taken the $10 million you gave Dawson for his luxury offices in the last 20 months. $10 million public, that's a figure. And you could have used that 10 million toward this. It's only 7.5 million for the port. You gave $10 million for Dawson's luxury offices. Council File 17-0924 is $8.3 million for Vermont. Item number 4 alone. Item number 41, renovation of permanent home of the UCLA Labor Center. Nothing wrong with that. It's $15 million. You could have taken the $10 million you gave Dawson City Sleazy Council for luxury offices to pay for this. And this guy is going to speak with Cedillo on this when you gave him $308,000 to take over the unemployment office in the black community. $308,000 to take over the unemployment office in the black community.
So I think
and this guy, this little round-head boy, is going to speak on item 41, renovating a permanent home for the UCLA Labor Center. This guy, you're going to let him speak on labor when he is raping. He saw a 17,000 square foot building and he wanted it for himself. You know what he's done today with that EDD office to get it open?
I think we veered off topic a little bit, Speaker. Can we get back on the items?
I'm on item number 41, renovation of permanent home, UCLA Labor Center. This guy shouldn't be able to speak on anything related to labor for what he's raped the black community for. That's what I'm talking about. Now, item 7 and 9 is hate crimes and position on terrorism.
And
Isn't that terrorism?
You can go into general if you wish, Speaker.
Yes. Okay. That's fair enough, too. Please wear your mask at all times, sir. You are breaking the law by not wearing your mask in a public space. Items, City Council File 17-0924, $8.3 million for his Vermont office. Council File 18-0947, $308,000 for the takeover of the unemployment office in the Black community. Council File 18-0675, $433,000 for where he is now at the Fame Church. Council File 201122, $541,000. This criminal enterprise called the LA Sleazy Council gave him for his newest office move. By the way, Dawson, where's the contract? We can't find the contract. Did you chicken out? The FBI knows everything I know. We're sending things to them daily, boy.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 4024, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning, bitches. I would like to speak on item 1, item 17, item 47, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41 regarding labor, asshole. Is that okay with you? May I continue? And general public comment.
You have 3
minutes. Is that okay, boy?
You have 3 minutes for items 1, 10, 17,
Damn
37
right I
through
got
41.
3 minutes and 1 minute make 4, nigga. Here I go. Here I go.
Speaker.
Regarding item number 1.
So, can we hold the speaker's time for just 1 second? So, look, we're going to give you your time, but before you go any further, I strongly urge you to cut out the racially charged epithets, as they're really not necessary to express your viewpoint, and that language creates a really intolerable environment for other people who wish to participate in the council meetings. Okay, Speaker? So you're going to get your time. Please go ahead.
Press star 6 to unmute yourself.
Regarding 42 U.S.C. 1983, fuck you. $7.5 million for the port truck terminal? Are you insane? Boy? I'm talking, boy. Look at item 10. Fuck item 10. And regarding item 17, fuck item 17 too, nigga.
Let him go.
Speaker, are you still there?
Press star 6 to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, continue.
Why do you keep interrupting me, asshole?
Mr. Herman,
Now
get back to
regarding
the items, or I'm going to ask you to
37
move on to general public comment.
All right, you morbid fat pig. Here I go.
Thank you
General
so
public
much.
comment.
Thank you. Let's go. Let's talk about general public
Regarding
comment.
Loyola Marymount survey, LMU, fuck you. Brianna Gilbert and Fernando Guerra. Yes, we do have a homelessness problem. Are you fucking stupid? Under 18 U.S.C. section 1962D for dicks that you suck, fobble. And regarding item number 4 from point of order, let me remind you, 220 CR 00326 GFW, fuck you hard. Stop corruption. Stop systematic demanding that we stick to political institutions that hate free speech. We're going to continue with our free speech regardless whether you like it or not. Because there's nothing free about it, John Lee, you fucking crook. Tucker Carlson is right. Freedom of speech is under attack. Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican, fuck California. You're right. You're right. And regarding 564 South Main Street, pussy on a pooch you all are, mommy. Mommy. Did Geraldo leave you already and dump you for your fat ass? Am I on top of it?
Your time has expired,
Thank you,
Speaker.
Mr.
Next speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 1143, press star 6 to unmute yourself.
My name is Faith Myra, and I'd like to speak in general public comment.
You have a minute. Please begin.
I'm calling to thank the council for standing with the community and voting for the resolution urging the governor to close the Playa del Rey gas storage facility. I urge the Council President Martinez to schedule the Aliso motion for a vote. No community in Los Angeles deserves to have a gas facility in their backyard. According to SoCalGas, this facility still leaks on an average twice per day, and residents are still suffering from the ongoing toxic emissions at the facility. SoCalGas has been in the hot seat with this Los Angeles City Council time and time again for similar crises and for repeatedly failing to safely and timely communicate with the council members of the affected districts. They have given us no reason to trust them, and this facility is not necessary for energy needs of LA. It only serves to increase the SoCalGas profits at the cost of our neighbors' health and safety. LA is doing its part to create a real plan to move to 100% renewable energy. It's time that the governor did the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Thank you. That concludes public comment for today's meeting. Members, let's prepare to vote on the following items. Item 1, item 37 and 38. Let's go ahead and call the roll.
Blumenfield. Councilmember Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. These items are adopted forthwith.
Okay, let's move on to item number 7, called special by Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, colleagues. Over 20 million Americans identify themselves as being part of the AAPI community, and I think it's important as a legislative body that we do everything that we can to condemn the recent attacks, the cowardly attacks upon the AAPI community, and urge every legislative body at all levels of government to fight against discrimination, hate against any one of not only the AAPI community, but any race, color, religion. I am an American, and my love for my ethnic heritage and the color of my skin does not diminish my love for this country or make me any less American. And these recent attacks on the AAPI community, as we've all seen from so many different instances and videos, should outrage all of us. And I want to thank this body for coming together during this time, as we've seen the recent rise in attacks against this community, to stand together in condemning it, and appreciate your support today on this piece of legislation. I urge all people in our community that whenever they see crimes of hate against anyone, to no longer be a bystander and stay silent. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Mr. Blumenfield?
Great, thank you. I rise in solidarity with Mr. Lee on this item, and in solidarity for combating all forms of hate, from microaggressions to violence. It's the responsibility that we all have. Hate crimes and anti-immigrant bias have no place in Los Angeles, and we must unequivocally denounce xenophobia. Later this month, the Asian American Advancing Justice is hosting a bystander intervention training, and LAPD's Operations Valley Bureau is hosting a community forum on combating hate against the AAPI community. So I want to thank APCON for their 45 plus years of leadership and advocacy on behalf of the AAPI community, for leading the way to track these recent incidents of hate. Again, I stand in solidarity and urge an aye vote on this item.
Mr. O'Farrell?
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Mr. Lee, and colleagues.
I have the great honor of representing historic Filipino town, parts of Koreatown, Thai town. We have a very large AAPI community in the 13th district. And these communities are integral parts of our city and really contribute so much of what makes Los Angeles what it is: vibrant, diverse, interesting, culturally enriched. And it is precisely in difficult times like these, filled with anxiety and fear and uncertainty within the AAPI community, that we absolutely must come together, represent, be visible as a city, and unified against what is happening in our Asian American communities. We must reinforce solidarity and create new partnerships, looking out for one another. As a member of the LGBTQ community myself, I know firsthand what bullying and phobia can do if you feel that you don't have enough allies out in the world to align with, to speak out against hate, crime, bullying. It's cowardly. It's based on ignorance and fear that has permeated our society for centuries. And these are watershed moments where we must stand up, demand action, and creating this funding for the kind of data that we need just helps elevate this cause even further. So looking out for one another is where it is, and it's what we must do. So colleagues, I join in all of you in asking for an aye vote so that we can get this done and speak with one uniform voice and stand strong against hate in any form and bullying in any form that it takes. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote on this item. Please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Vizcaíno.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Unequivocally, yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
15 ayes. This matter is adopted forthwith.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote on item number 10 as amended. Please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Vizcaíno.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This matter is adopted as amended forthwith.
Let's move on to item number 17. Let's go ahead and vote on that item as amended.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Vizcaíno.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This matter is adopted as amended forthwith.
Okay, let's move on to item 39. This was called special by Mr. O'Farrell for comments. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a resolution in support of AB 832, pending before the state legislature at this time. This legislation was introduced to resolve lingering issues from the dissolution of redevelopment agencies that occurred back in 2012. Some of you are familiar with this as you were in Sacramento at the time. This legislation is necessary to bring certainty to the transfer of the land use authorities from the CRA LA to the city, which is currently under litigation. This legislation will enable the city to amend the land use authorities of the redevelopment plan city processes rather than community redevelopment law processes. Legislation does not eliminate the land use authorities of the remaining redevelopment plans, nor does it bypass CEQA or public participation in amending redevelopment plans if they are amended at all. This legislation does not eliminate protections for tenants, nor reduce the affordability requirements of developers. Tenant protections should be applicable citywide and memorialized in the housing element coming up later this year. The remaining development plans are being used to litigate against the city to block the development of affordable housing and permanent supportive housing. We have experienced this repeated litigation in Hollywood in which plaintiffs have used the redevelopment itself, and those projects, some of those projects include the Montecito, which is 100% affordable senior housing project, and Path Villas Hollywood.
Mayor hasn't gotten this picture yet.
Path Villas Hollywood, a permanent supportive housing development. So plaintiffs are absolutely using this current system to block affordable housing in my district and across the city. In addition, multiple other projects, including those with affordable housing, have been subjected to litigation. Well, this passing at the state will end all of that. Redevelopment agencies were dissolved in 2012, and yet we're still being negatively impacted by this. It is time, past the time, to resolve these lingering issues. So I ask for your support on this item, but Madam President, I understand that a colleague or two might have some questions. We've cleared everything up going into this, but I understand we might have some questions. So we have City Attorney Kathy Whalen and Planner Craig Weber who are standing by should there be any questions. And just a program note, they'll be able to state what they can cover during open session, because some of these issues might need to be addressed in closed session. But simply put, this is in support of the resolution, which would transfer the authority from the CRA LA to the City of Los Angeles. So with that, Madam President, if there are any questions, we have Kathy Whalen or Craig Weber standing by. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Karatz?
Thank you, Madam President. I've heard concerns expressed in the community by affordable housing advocates that this might impact the requirements to have a project area be 15% affordable. So I wonder if anyone could speak to that in terms of this question, because if it's not clarified, I would suggest just that we hold it over for a brief period of time, maybe till next week, while we have the ability to dig deeper on this issue and make sure we're not inadvertently letting developers off the hook for their affordable requirements.
It's clarified, but we have Kathy Phelan or Craig Weber to answer those questions. I would not have introduced this if that wasn't clarified. So Ms. Phelan or Mr. Weber, are you available to answer that concern?
Sir, give me a minute. I need to let them into the meeting.
Good afternoon, or excuse me, good morning, council members.
Hold on for just
Are
a
you
second,
able to hear me?
Mr. Weber. Hold
Yeah.
on for just a second. I haven't called on you yet.
I see.
Ms. Phelan, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
There you are. Thank you very much. Mr. Weber, go ahead.
Hello all, Craig Weber, City Planning staff for the record. Councilman Koretz, in response to your question, a number of the redevelopment plans do include language, generally within what we call Section 400 of the redevelopment plans, that pertains specifically to the actions of the former redevelopment agency in implementing projects. So within this section, there is language that required that the redevelopment agency, in instances where it would be executing a project, such as building a housing development or providing funding for a housing development, that in those instances, affordable housing would need to be required at the rate specified. Often that is 15%. Those provisions of the redevelopment plan have not been in effect roughly since the dissolution of the redevelopment agencies and tax increment financing, which was used to support those activities. On the other hand, we have a number of affordable housing incentive programs established at both the state and at the local level. So thinking about the density bonus ordinance, and then at the local level, things like Measure JJJ and TOC. And the language of the state bill, as I understand it, would actually serve to better implement those existing density incentive programs.
So I'm still not entirely clear. So are you saying that after the dissolution of the CRA that there no longer is a project area requirement for affordable housing?
That is correct, sir.
Wow. Well, that's not my understanding, but I don't know that I would have any way to be able to contradict that on the spot. But I'm still not 100% convinced. I know that Mr. O'Farrell would not be moving this forward if he wasn't convinced that it wouldn't be doing this harm. I'm just not certain with that answer that we might not be making a mistake.
I can speak to that in greater detail. You know, the city actually has been litigated on this specific topic a number of times, and the courts have generally determined that this particular language within the redevelopment plans is no longer applicable, given that the city does not avail of the redevelopment agency's tax increment financing tools.
Ms. Phelan, do you want to answer this too? Go ahead.
Sure, I can add. Thank you, Council President. Good morning, Council. Kathy Phelan, City Attorney's Office. I was just going to add that the city has been sued 3 times on that provision of the Hollywood redevelopment plan applying to city-approved projects. And in each of those cases, we did prevail in that litigation. I'm not remembering each one, but I do remember the Amoeba project, 6400 Sunset. That was a claim, and we did prevail on that. The city does not receive tax increment, and neither did the CRA after dissolution. So, as Craig Weber explained, that provision is no longer enforceable. But we do continue to get sued on it, and it would be good to get that clarified expressly so that we can stop with the litigation on that particular issue. But we have won 3 times on that issue.
Mr. Cedillo.
All right, well, thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Cedillo.
We all share the concern for affordability, and I know that it's a common value that the councilman and I have in trying to figure out as many ways locally that we can create affordability. But I am concerned that from Sacramento that they don't have a sense of what we're trying to do here on the ground. And I'm just wonder if this has been vetted through HCID or through planning to put other eyes on this to get a deeper sense of the analysis of the impact of legislation coming from Sacramento. So that's one. 2 is, does this have does this encumber us, any of us, the 50 members, are we encumbered by this such that it would limit our efforts to build affordability in any of our other projects? I'm concerned by the litigation because, as we all have experienced, it seems to be the first go-to. Anyone who objects to a project will simply then go immediately to litigation, and it has encumbered thousands of units in the city and delayed them. And so I like Mr. Koretz, I share those concerns, and maybe there should be a deeper look at it by HCID or planning with respect to this. It goes deeper into the policy and not just the legal questions.
Mr. De Leon?
Thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you very much, Madam President. Let me turn up this volume here. And I'm glad we have Craig and I think Catherine as well. And I thank you very much for enlightening us with some of the details with regards to this measure. Mr. Koretz may have asked a question already. I'm not quite sure, but if you could clarify this would be helpful. The concerns I'm hearing too is that it does remove the requirement for affordability. And can you please explain specifically the 15% threshold with regards to the affordability? Would that change specifically? And if it does eliminate it, is it 15% for the planning area, or is it 15% for the developer and that specific development?
Craig Weber, planning staff, again, for the record. So the language that is being discussed, again, pertains to sections of various redevelopment plans that stipulate the manner in which the former redevelopment agency would have executed its own specific projects. So in instances where the former redevelopment agency built housing or provided funding for housing, for example, and this language required that those types of endeavors would be required to provide a requisite amount of affordable housing. Often that was 15%. So as was discussed briefly previously, this particular language in the redevelopment plans has not been in effect since the dissolution of redevelopment agencies statewide in roughly 2012. Given that this language was really tied to the agency's ability to avail of tax increment financing, among other financing tools to build housing and projects. So as the city has assumed the land use authority of the former redevelopment agency and the land use plans and functions, the language that we're discussing today is not considered a land use plan or function and has not been in effect since dissolution. And then as Kathy spoke to, our city attorney, we have also been litigated on this particular point, whether the 15% affordability requirement is still a requirement, and that we have prevailed in that litigation, essentially confirming that this has not been a requirement of the redevelopment plans since dissolution.
Yeah, how many times have we been litigated on this issue with regards to the 15% minimum baseline?
Kathy Phelan, City Attorney's Office. We've had 3 lawsuits to date. We've prevailed on all of those.
All three of them.
Okay, Mr. O'Farrell?
Yeah, Madam President, it seems that some of our colleagues have not been fully briefed, and I can appreciate that, but because this transfer has not occurred to the city is precisely why plaintiffs are using this provision to halt or slow down the production of affordable housing. I gave you 2 examples already, the Montecito and the Path Villas, Hollywood. The Montecito is 100% affordable housing for seniors, and that was litigated against and slowed it down at minimum by 2 years. And that's being very generous. So what this lack of clarity is doing is it is giving the plaintiffs yet another reason to file a lawsuit just to stall a project. And so the only thing that will cure this is the transfer to the city for the land use authority, which doesn't currently exist. So it is one of these lingering, dangling pieces from the dissolution of the redevelopment agency that is harming our ability, and it's also scaring possible affordable housing developers away because no one wants to go into litigation. They want greater certainty so that we can actually encourage investment in affordable housing production in Los Angeles. And this is something that is holding us back. And I've been dealing with this in Hollywood since 2013. So, and I know that I'm not the only council member who has been dealing with this, but it is a real issue, and it is harming our ability to address the issue of the day, and that is lack of supply of affordable housing and housing stock that is affordable to people. And that's exactly what we need to be in the business of producing, which is why I introduced this. So I'm happy to, if the will isn't there to vote on this today, then perhaps we could schedule for a vote next week after there's been further briefings to some of my colleagues from the planning department so that you're comfortable moving forward.
Second.
And we can certainly do that.
Mr. Olvera, you're asking for us to postpone today's vote?
Until next week, if that can be rescheduled. I'm comfortable with that. I mean, CRAs were just
Without objection, sir, thank you.
9 years ago, so I guess we can wait one more week for the vote.
Without objection, we'll reschedule this item. Thank you. Let's move on to item 41, call special by Mr. Cedillo.
Well, Madam Chair, it's a great honor and privilege to bring this matter before you. I want to talk about perhaps the most significant American, at least for the last 60 years. Reverend James Lawson, trained in India, studied nonviolence, went to jail to protest the Korean War as a pacifist, then went south to Nashville, Tennessee, where he trained essentially the entire civil rights movement, including his acolytes, Martin Luther King, John Lewis, Jesse Jackson, Diane Nash, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He is an extraordinary man, decent, humble, brilliant, funny, very compassionate man. I've had the honor and privilege of working with him. In 1991, the union I worked at commenced on a program and a series of actions for 6 years called Rolling Thunder, and had a series of campaigns to save county health services. We committed ourselves to what was then a novel approach called a labor community strategy. And during that time period, we were mentored by Reverend James Lawson. He trained us in nonviolent protests. Many of our leadership, including myself, were arrested multiple times in efforts to save the county healthcare system. He also convened the progressive leaders of the city during that time period. There was a group that met on Sunday night, people like Sabina Virgo from the Rainbow Coalition, and Clyde Johnson from the Black Employees Association, young leaders like Maria Elena Durazo from HERE Local 11, and many others, Anthony Thigpen, Sharon DeLukic, many leaders convened on Sunday to have an action meeting about what was going on in the city and what our responses would be from the progressive community. He's found a home at the UCLA Labor Center. He collaborates with Kent Wong. He continues to be extremely relevant. He's not a person who simply can tell us about the past, but talks about the present and guides us towards the future. He has been a leading force in the national movement of dreamers, of the movement for DACA. He has been one of the forces coming out of the UCLA Labor Center that has trained many of these young men and women. He's played a major role in creating the Black Workers Center here in Los Angeles. And he's just a force of nature that has been under-recognized and underappreciated. It is now the time to give him his due. They are naming the UCLA Labor Center the Reverend Lawson, let me get that correct here. The Reverend Lawson Justice Center, aptly named. I know Mr. Ridley Thomas has a personal relationship with him. I know Marquise Harris Dawson has a personal relationship. I'm sure Curran Price has a personal relationship with him. My mentor, Jim Franklin, spent many years working at his side, both at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and our work with SCIU. Now is the time for this man to receive some recognition for what he's done. You know that there's a resolution coming from Sacramento, and we look forward in my district to the creation of the Reverend Lawson Justice Center near MacArthur Park, appropriately stationed in the heart of the city where the need for justice is so much in need. So I thank you. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your consideration, colleagues. I thank you for this moment. At this very moment, let me say to you that there is a conversation from the Labor Center taking place between Reverend Lawson and another incredibly great leader, Bill Lucy. Bill Lucy is the AFSCME leader who organized the trash workers, the haulers who were on strike, the very strike that Reverend Lawson called Martin Luther King to come down to give solidarity. At this very moment, at 11 o'clock, they began a dialogue looking back on the relationships with Martin Luther King and the history of the struggle and our path forward. Now is the time for us to recognize this man and for all of us to say, it's time for justice to be served, and it should be served at the Reverend Lawson Justice Center.
Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. Members, we're prepared to vote on this item. Let's go ahead and call the roll on item 41.
Madam Chair, we're going to hear from Mr. Ridley Thomas. And
They have not raised their hand, sir.
I think.
Are you requesting for them to speak?
Mr. Harris Dawson has raised his hand, and
He just raised his hand. Mr. Harris Dawson, go ahead.
Mr. Ridley Thomas is not known for being shy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Cedillo, you were so eloquent and so passionate in your presentation that I was going to bypass speaking, but I thank you for calling attention to this. You know, I'll just note how important the designation of this school is. Our hometown paper, Los Angeles Times, just published an article this weekend about how only 3% of our historic monuments or historic landmarks in Southern California are of or about African-American people. And this school can be one of those things. I think Jim Lawson, among many other things, is a shining example of Los Angeles's place and contribution to the worldwide movement for social justice. So when you see students in China marching for rights, they are copying the work that Jim Lawson taught people to do in the American South. Jim Lawson's a citizen of this city, and whether it's the labor movement, the civil rights movement, the immigrant rights movement, he's always been at the forefront and holds a special place in the world, but especially to those of us who are Angelenos. So we're proud to join in the celebration of this institution, but just as importantly, the celebration of this man while he is still with us, and we can give him his flowers and his due. There is not a civil rights leader in this city today, including the legendary Mr. Cedillo, the legendary Mark Ridley Thomas, who haven't been touched and trained by Jim Lawson. And so for that, I'm proud to join in the celebration and the honor for this great human being.
Thank you, Mr. Harris Dawson. Members, let's go ahead and prepare to vote on this item. Item 41. Please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield,
Hold
aye.
on for just a second. I just saw another hand raised. Hold the vote. Mr. Ridley Thomas?
Thank you very much, Madam President. It was in 1974 when the Reverend James Lawson arrived in Los Angeles to pastor the Holman United Methodist Church. It was at that time that I met him. We've sustained a relationship over the years, now 5 decades. And in that regard, I consider myself to have been fortunate to benefit from his tutelage, his wisdom, as recent as this past weekend, where he sustained a hour-long conversation with me about my concerns about the verdicts in the trial that's underway regarding the death of George Floyd. Jim Lawson will be 93 in September of this year. But if many of you saw him at John Lewis's funeral, he held forth in a remarkable manner, and he does that with regularity. I said to him in my conversation the other day, Madam President and colleagues, on Saturday before night, last, I think Saturday or Sunday, when the Image Awards were being issued, he was named with the Lifetime Achievement Award by the NAACP's national president. And then I woke up the next Monday morning and he was the lead author on an op-ed piece on the pages of the Los Angeles Times. So here's a man who was designated as the teacher of nonviolence by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who has refused to give up, who has refused to turn around, and who has allowed his witness to be extensive among clergy, among labor leaders, among multiracial organizations, you name them, who's at the age of 93, one of the most clear voices on the question of LGBTQ rights and the like. He's a remarkable human being by any standard of measurement. You think of him as someone who's a father, a husband, a grandfather, a pastor, a prophet. Think of him as someone who is certainly deserving of the honor of this institution, the UCLA Reverend James M. Lawson Jr. Worker Justice Center. Why? Because he's all about that and more. So, members of the council, we are fortunate to have him among us. And he would do nothing but elevate UCLA's designation by having his name attached to this center. It's forward-looking, it's proper, and it seems to me we will all be better for it, Madam President.
Okay, members, is prepared to vote on this item. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorin.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This matter is adopted forthwith.
Okay, Madam Clerk, what's before us now?
Council has motions for posting and referral. Motions will be posted on the city clerk's website shortly after the meeting for public's viewing. To subscribe to receive copies of today's motions to your email, please visit clerk.lacity.org. And that clears the desk.
Those are posted and referred. Members, are there any announcements? Mr. Ridley Thomas, do you have an announcement?
Just an adjourning motion, Madam
Okay,
President.
I'll come back to you. Are any announcements, members? Okay, adjourning motions. Go ahead, Mr. Ridley Thomas.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, may I invite you to take note of the passing of Leslie Song Winner, former Los Angeles City Fire Commissioner, public relations expert, political consultant, fundraising consultant, public affairs stakeholder in Los Angeles for many, many years. The daughter of the first Asian American senator in the California State Senate, and the father made a big statement. Al Song was quite a trailblazing legislator. He's memorialized at Western and Wilshire as designated in his honor the station, the metro station there. Madam President and colleagues, Leslie did her best to be helpful wherever she could. Most recently, she made her way with frequency on a weekly basis before she succumbed to ALS to feed the homeless. Freshly prepared meals once a week, frail though she may have been, kept trying to give to others. I thought it fitting that we be mindful of her longstanding contribution, her commitment to the civic life of our city and beyond, and a person who was cognizant of her own ethnic identity as an Asian American woman, but allowed that to animate her witness with respect to the respect that should be accorded to all people, irrespective of their ethnic background. Quite a lady, quite a witness, quite worthy of our acknowledgement. May she rest in peace and in power.
Mr. Ridley Thomas, I'd like to ask that you accept that all members be added to this adjourning motion. Thank you. Mr. Buscaino?
Thank you, Madam President. It's a beautiful tribute, Mr. Ridley Thomas. Members, it's with great sadness that I ask that we adjourn in memory of Bill Lee. Bill Lee founded Lee and Associates Commercial Real Estate Services in 1979. The company now has over 65 locations across North America and employs over 1,300 people with a year-end consideration value of over $14 billion in 2020. Bill Lee represented some of the largest companies in the world. He was a market leader in the industry and earned his SIOR designation in 1977. Outside of his commercial real estate career, Bill was a published author and coached youth basketball. In recent years, in his spare time, Bill became an avid gardener who grew all of his own fruits and vegetables for a restaurant and inn that he owned. He enjoyed spending time with his family, survived by his 4 children, Rob, John, Ryan, and Katie, and 9 grandchildren. He will be dearly missed. Bill Lee, may he rest in peace. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Ms. Nethia Rahman?
Thank you so much. I'd like to ask that we adjourn in memory of Florence Crumbogie, a beloved mother and grandmother who died peacefully on March 10th, 2021, with her sons Chip and Richard at her side. Born in 1928 in Fresno, she had an ideal early life growing up on the family ranches in the heart of the San Joaquin Valley. Following her graduation from high school, she entered the University of Southern California, where she pledged Chi Omega and remained an active member of that sorority throughout her life. At USC, she also met a dashing veteran, Fred Bogey. They married at Quantico, Virginia, when Fred was attending officers candidate school. Fred retired from the military at the close of the Korean conflict, and they settled in Toluca Lake, where she lived the rest of her life. They raised 4 children, Kathy, Vernon, John, and Richard. Florence was involved in many organizations, including the Hollywood Bowl Auxiliary and the Volunteer League, an active member of the USC Associates and the Women of Troy. And she was a founding member of the USC Trojan League of the San Fernando Valley, the Trojan Club of the San Fernando Valley, and the USC Hospital Guild. She was an enthusiastic international traveler late in her life, and she was always gracious, warm, loving, and a generous friend to many, and she had an unparalleled zest for life. She was preceded in death by her loving husband and her son, John, and she's survived by her daughter, Catherine, granddaughters, Katie and Annie McMillan, and Allison Bogey, and sons, Chip and Richard. Her family and the community of Toluca Lake mourn her loss. May she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other adjourning motions, our meeting is adjourned.